Picture this, you're washing dishes dreaming of, escaping the daily grind. But what if I told you that dishwashing gig could actually be the first step to like a multi-million-dollar online business?
It's true, and today we're going to dive into the amazing story of Fred Lamb, who went from scrubbing plates to becoming an e-commerce tycoon.
And get this, he started with absolutely nothing. No experience, no money, just a ton of drive and a hunger to succeed. So how did he do it?
Well, Fred's story really reflects this huge shift that's happening in retail right now. We're seeing the decline of these traditional brick and mortar stores, what some are calling the retail apocalypse.
Yeah, you see it everywhere. Empty storefronts where big-name retailers used to be. It's kind of spooky.
It is, and while the convenience of online shopping is definitely a factor, the real game changer is technology. It's leveled the playing field. In the past, starting a retail business meant huge upfront costs, rent, inventory, staff. But now with e-commerce, those barriers have practically vanished.
So anyone with a laptop and an internet connection can launch a business without going into debt.
hmm
I mean, that's pretty incredible.
It is, and that's what makes Fred's story so inspiring. It shows that with the right approach, anyone can achieve success in this new digital landscape.
Absolutely. So let's break down Fred's five-step system to e-commerce success. Where do we even begin?
It all starts with creating your online storefront, and Fred strongly recommends using Shopify.
Now, some people might be thinking, why Shopify? Aren't there other platforms like WooCommerce?
There are, but Fred actually has a pretty scary story about his own website, iPro Academy, getting hacked when it was on WordPress, and that's what WooCommerce is built on.
Oh, wow. So security is a major concern.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're dealing with sensitive customer data, credit card info, personal details, so you need a platform that you can trust. And Shopify is known for its security, plus it's incredibly user-friendly. You don't need to be a coding expert to build a professional-looking online store.
Okay, so we've got our digital storefront set up, and now the big question is inventory. Do we need to, like, rent a warehouse and stockpile products?
Nope, not at all. That's the beauty of Fred's system. He teaches a strategy called inventory arbitrage, or as it's more commonly known, drop shipping.
Drop shipping. I've heard that term, but I'm not really sure how it works.
Well, think of Amazon. They don't actually have all those millions of products just sitting in a giant warehouse.
They don't?
Not exactly.
Hey.
Most of the products sold on Amazon are actually fulfilled by third-party sellers. It's called drop shipping, and it's brilliant for minimizing risk and upfront investment.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about this drop shipping magic.
It's pretty simple. Instead of holding inventory yourself, you partner with suppliers who handle the storage and shipping. So let's say you find a cool product on a platform like AliExpress, which is basically a giant online marketplace for drop shippers. You list that product on your Shopify store, a customer places an order, and then you pass that order along to your supplier, like package it and ship it directly to your customer.
So I can have an e-commerce business without ever actually touching the products I'm selling.
Precisely. And that's why dropshipping has become so popular. It eliminates the need for warehousing, inventory management, and all the headaches of traditional retail.
That's amazing. But now, how do we get people to actually find our store amidst the millions of other websites out there?
That's where step 3 comes in. Targeted traffic. And Fred's weapon of choice is Facebook ads.
Facebook ads.
Wow.
Really? Isn't that mostly just for, baby pictures and political arguments?
You might be surprised to learn that Facebook is actually an incredibly powerful tool for e-commerce.
How so?
Well, think about it. Facebook has billions of active users, and they know a ton about them. Demographics, interests, behaviors, purchase history. It's an advertiser's dream come true.
Okay, so we can use that information to target our ideal customers.
Exactly. Instead of shouting your message from the rooftops and hoping someone hears it, you're having a targeted conversation with the people who are actually in the market for your product.
Okay, I like it.
Right.
So how do we pinpoint these potential customers?
It's all about understanding Facebook's targeting capabilities, and Fred has a brilliant strategy for this. He calls it the double targeting intersect, and he uses a Venn diagram to illustrate it.
A Venn diagram. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Imagine two overlapping circles. One circle represents one interest, let's say yoga, and the other circle represents another interest, like eco-friendly products. The overlapping area where those two interests intersect represents your sweet spot, the people who are interested in both yoga and eco-friendly products.
Ah, I see. So if I'm selling a yoga mat made from recycled materials, I target people who fall into that sweet spot.
Exactly. It's about finding those overlapping passions and tailoring your message accordingly.
That makes sense. But what happens if someone clicks on our ad, adds a product to their cart, but then abandons it before completing the purchase?
That's a great question, and it happens all the time. But luckily, Fred has a solution for that, too.
I knew he would. What's the secret weapon?
Step 4 of his system is all about maximizing profits, and that's where email marketing takes center stage.
Email marketing. Isn't that a little old school in today's world of, TikTok and Instagram?
You might be surprised to hear this, but email is far from dead, especially in e-commerce. It's still one of the most effective ways to build relationships with your customers, keep them informed about new products and promotions, and ultimately drive sales.
So email is like having a direct line to our customers' inboxes.
Precisely. It allows you to nurture those potential customers and turn them into loyal buyers.
Okay, I'm starting to see the value. But most people are drowning in emails these days. How do we make sure ours don't just get lost in the shuffle?
That's where choosing the right software and crafting effective emails comes in. And Fred has a brilliant framework for this. He calls it the 4 Ws and 1 H.
The 4 Ws and 1 H. I'm listening.
The first W is who. In e-commerce, your emails should always come from your brand, not from you personally. It's about establishing a consistent brand identity.
Right, so no need to pretend to be their best friend. It's a business transaction, but hopefully a pleasant one. What's the next W?
The next W is what. This is where you clearly state the value proposition for the customer. What are you offering? A discount, free shipping, a new product launch. You need to answer the customer's unspoken question. What's in it for me?
Got it. Appeal to their inner shopaholic. Give them an offer they can't refuse. So what about timing? When should we be sending these emails?
That's the third W. When, this refers to the timing and frequency of your email campaigns. Are you sending them daily, weekly? Are you creating a sense of urgency? Fred recommends having a consistent email schedule, ideally 3 emails per week.
So consistency is key. What about the fourth W?
The fourth W is where. This refers to the specific page on your website that you're directing customers to. Don't just send them to your homepage. Take them directly to the product page, the sale page, or whatever is most relevant to the email's message.
Streamline the experience. Got it. And finally, what about the H?
The H is how. This is where you consider the tone and style of your emails. Are you going for a friendly and conversational approach or a more formal tone? What kind of visuals are you using? Are you keeping your emails concise and to the point?
So it's a lot more than just dashing off a quick message. There's a real art to crafting effective emails.
There is, and Fred has a ton of great tips on this in his book. But let's move on to step 5 of his system.
Okay, step 5. What's next?
Step 5 is all about taking your business to the next level. It's about diversifying your product line and expanding into new markets.
So we're not just selling one product anymore. We're creating a whole ecosystem of offerings.
Exactly. And Fred gives a great example from his own business. He started with water purification products and then branched out into green and home living products. It's about finding complementary products that appeal to your existing customer base.
That's smart. You're leveraging your existing audience and expanding your reach at the same time. Diversification often requires capital, right? Do we need to, take out a second mortgage or max out our credit cards?
Yeah. Not necessarily. Fred has a great tip for funding growth that doesn't involve selling your soul to the venture capitalists. He recommends PayPal Working Capital.
PayPal Working Capital. I've never heard of that.
It's basically a loan program specifically for businesses that use PayPal. The application process is super easy, no credit checks. Instant funding and repayment is based on a percentage of your sales. So you only pay back when you're actually making money.
That sounds amazing. It's like PayPal is saying, hey, we believe in you. Here's some money to help you grow your business.
Exactly. It's a fantastic resource for entrepreneurs who are looking to expand. But as you diversify and grow your business, Fred emphasizes the importance of building a strong brand.
Right. We're not just some random online store. We're creating a brand that people recognize, trust, and get excited about.
Exactly. And Fred has some great tips for building a strong brand. He recommends exploring private labeling, which means putting your own brand name and logo on the products you're selling.
So instead of just reselling generic products, we're creating our own unique brand identity.
Precisely. And to take it even further, he suggests adding a personal touch. Remember that handwritten thank you card we talked about? He also recommends including flyers or brochures with each order showcasing your other products or highlighting special promotions.
It's all about exceeding customer expectations and making them feel valued.
Exactly. And as your brand grows, Fred emphasizes the importance of investing in dedicated customer support. This could mean setting up a toll-free number, offering live chat on your website, or even hiring a virtual assistant to handle customer inquiries. Because in the end, a happy customer is more likely to become a loyal customer.
And loyal customers are the lifeblood of any successful business. So we've covered a lot of ground so far. We've talked about setting up your online store, using dropshipping, mastering Facebook ads and email marketing, diversifying your product line, funding your growth, and building a strong brand. But there's still so much more to learn from Fred Lamb's incredible journey.
Yeah, he really has created an amazing system for e-commerce success, and his story is incredibly inspiring.
Absolutely. And we'll dive deeper into the finer points of his system in our next episode. So stay tuned for more insights and actionable tips on building your own e-commerce empire.
We'll be back soon with more on Fred Lamb's e-commerce wisdom. And it's all thanks to the power of email marketing.
Yeah, we kind of touched on that in the last episode.
Yeah.
But to be honest, I'm still a little skeptical. Isn't email kind of like a dinosaur in the digital age? I mean, everyone's on social media these days.
You'd be surprised. Email is far from extinct, especially when it comes to e-commerce.
Okay. Why is that?
Well, for one, it allows you to build direct relationships with your customers. You're not at the mercy of some algorithm or platform's ever-changing rules.
That's a good point. I mean, we've all seen how Facebook or Instagram can just, tweak their algorithms and suddenly your reach just plummets.
Exactly. With email, you own the connection. You're talking directly to people who have already expressed interest in your brand.
It's about building that loyal following.
Precisely. And email is incredibly effective at nurturing those leads and turning them into paying customers.
Okay, I'm starting to come around to this whole email thing.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Most people are bombarded with emails every single day.
Yeah.
How do we make sure our messages stand out and don't just end up in the spam folder?
That's where choosing the right software and crafting compelling emails comes in. Fred recommends SendLane, which is specifically designed for e-commerce businesses.
SendLane. Okay.
Okay.
I'll have to check that out. So what about the content of the emails? What should we be saying?
Well, remember Fred's 4 Ws and 1 H framework? We talked about it briefly before, but let's dive a little deeper.
Yeah, let's break it down. The first W was who, right?
Exactly. And in e-commerce, your emails should always come from your brand, not from you personally. It's about creating a consistent brand identity.
Right. So no need to get all personal and chummy. It's a business communication.
Think of it like a big company. You're subscribing to Nike's newsletter, not the CEO's personal email list.
Makes sense. Okay, what's the next W?
What? This is where you clearly articulate the value proposition for the customer. What are you offering them? A discount, free shipping, a new product launch. You need to answer that unspoken question. What's in it for me?
Got to appeal to their inner bargain hunter.
Exactly. Make them an offer they can't refuse.
So we've got who and what covered. What about the timing of these emails? When should we be sending them?
That's the third W, when. And this refers to the frequency and timing of your email campaigns. Are you sending them daily, weekly? Are you creating a sense of urgency, like a limited time offer?
So timing is key.
Absolutely. Fred recommends having a consistent email schedule, ideally 3 emails per week. And he stresses the importance of planning your emails in advance. You're not scrambling at the last minute.
So it's all about being strategic and organized.
Precisely.
Yeah.
All right, on to the fourth W, which is where.
Where, as in where are we sending them?
Exactly. This refers to the specific page on your website that you're directing customers to. Don't just send them to your homepage. Take them directly to the product page, the sale page, or whatever is most relevant to the email's message.
So no more aimless wandering. Make it easy for them to find what they're looking for.
Exactly. And finally, we have the H, which stands for how.
How? I'm not sure I follow.
This refers to the overall tone and style of your emails. Are you going for a friendly and conversational approach or a more formal tone? What kind of visuals are you using? Are you keeping your emails concise and to the point?
So it's really about tailoring the style to your brand and your target audience.
Precisely. And Fred goes into a lot more detail on this in his book. But for now, let's move on to the second part of step 4, which is all about diversifying your product line.
Okay, diversification. I like the sound of that. So we're branching out beyond our initial product offerings.
That's the idea. It's about expanding your reach and tapping into new markets. Fred recommends either adding related products or venturing into entirely new niches.
So we're not just selling one thing anymore. We're creating a whole ecosystem of products.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is you're not starting from scratch each time. You're leveraging your existing customer base and brand recognition.
That's a smart strategy.
Yeah.
But diversification often requires capital, right?
Yeah.
Do we need to go out and raise a bunch of money?
Not necessarily. Remember Fred's tip about PayPal working capital?
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's like a loan program specifically for PayPal users.
Exactly. And it's incredibly accessible. The application is easy, there are no credit checks, funding is instant, and repayment is based on a percentage of your sales.
So you only pay back when you're actually making money. That's brilliant.
It is, and it's a great option for entrepreneurs who are looking to expand. But as you diversify and grow your business, Fred emphasizes the importance of building a strong brand.
Yeah, we talked about that before. It's about creating a brand that people connect with and trust.
Exactly. And one of the best ways to do that is through private labeling.
Private labeling.
Okay.
So we're putting our own brand name and logo on the products we're selling.
Precisely. It allows you to differentiate yourself from the competition and build brand equity.
So we're not just a reseller anymore. We're a legitimate brand.
Exactly. And to enhance that brand experience, Fred recommends adding a personal touch. Remember that handwritten thank you card we talked about earlier?
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's those little things that can really make a difference.
Absolutely. And Fred also suggests including flyers or brochures with each order showcasing your other products or highlighting special promotions.
It's all about creating a memorable experience for the customer.
Precisely. And as your brand grows, investing in dedicated customer support becomes crucial.
So we're talking about providing excellent service and going above and beyond for our customers.
Exactly. This could involve setting up a toll-free number, offering live chat on your website, or even hiring a virtual assistant to handle customer inquiries.
Because happy customers are repeat customers.
Exactly. And they're more likely to recommend your brand to others.
Word of mouth is incredibly powerful. So we've covered a lot of ground in this episode. We've talked about the power of email marketing, diversifying your product line, funding your growth, and building a strong brand. But Fred's system is so much more than just a set of tactics.
It's a mindset, a way of approaching business that's all about innovation, customer focus, and creating value.
Yeah, it's about building something you're proud of, something that makes a difference in the world.
And that's what makes Fred's story so inspiring. He shows us that it's possible to achieve incredible things if you have the right mindset and the willingness to put in the work.
So are you ready to start building your own e-commerce empire?
I am. Let's do it.
It's pretty amazing how Fred's built this whole system for e-commerce success.
It is.
But it's not like a guaranteed ticket to riches, right? I mean, there's got to be some challenges along the way.
Oh, absolutely. There are definitely some common pitfalls that entrepreneurs should watch out for.
Like what?
Well, one of the biggest mistakes is failing to properly research their niche and target audience.
So it's not enough to just find a cool product on AliExpress.
Right. You need to know who's actually buying those products, what they're willing to pay, and where they hang out online.
Otherwise, you're just throwing money at ads and hoping for the best.
Exactly. And another common mistake is underestimating the importance of marketing.
Yeah, just because you build a website doesn't mean people will magically find it.
Exactly. You need a solid strategy for driving traffic to your store, whether it's Facebook ads, influencer, marketing, content creation, or a combination of approaches.
So we're not just shopkeepers, we're marketers too.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And as your business grows, you'll need to wear many hats.
Which is why Fred emphasizes the importance of building a strong team.
Absolutely. You can't do everything yourself, and trying to will only lead to burnout.
So delegation is key.
It is. Whether it's hiring a virtual assistant, outsourcing customer support, or bringing on a marketing expert delegating tasks allows you to focus on your strengths and scale your business more effectively.
So it's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And speaking of working smarter, building a strong brand is essential for long-term success.
Yeah, we talked about private labeling and adding a personal touch. But what are some other ways to create that brand loyalty?
Well, one of the most effective strategies is telling your brand's story.
Our brand story. So what's the inspiration behind our products? What makes us unique?
Exactly. People connect with stories, and sharing yours authentically can create a powerful sense of connection.
It's about building a community around shared values.
Precisely. And another crucial element is exceptional customer service.
Yeah, treat your customers, right?
Exactly. Respond to inquiries, promptly go the extra mile to resolve issues, and show them that you genuinely care.
Because happy customers are the best advertising.
Word-of-mouth marketing is incredibly valuable.
So it's all about building those long-term relationships.
It is, but as you grow, it's important to stay adaptable and innovative.
The e-commerce landscape is constantly changing, right?
It is, so you got to stay ahead of the curve.
So what are some trends we should be paying attention to?
Well, one big one is personalized shopping experiences.
Personalized shopping. So
Yeah.
tailoring recommendations based on individual preferences.
Exactly. Using data and AI, businesses can create a more engaging and relevant experience for each customer.
That's pretty cool.
It is. Another trend is the rise of social commerce.
Social commerce. So buying stuff directly through Instagram or TikTok?
Exactly. It's all about making the shopping experience as seamless as possible.
And then there's the metaverse.
Ah, yes, the metaverse.
Yeah.
It's still early days, but it has the potential to revolutionize online shopping.
Imagine trying on clothes virtually or exploring a virtual store.
It's mind-blowing. But the key takeaway here is that the world of e-commerce is constantly evolving.
So we got to stay curious and adaptable.
Exactly. Be willing to experiment and try new things.
So to wrap things up, what's our final thought for our listeners?
Well, we've learned a lot from Fred Lamb's journey.
Yeah, from dishwasher to e-commerce tycoon.
It's an inspiring story that shows us anything is possible with the right mindset and approach.
So our challenge to you, dear listener, is this. What's your e-commerce dream? What kind of business would you build if you knew you couldn't fail?
It's time to start thinking big.
That's it for this deep dive into the world of e-commerce with the incredible Fred Lamb. We hope you've enjoyed the journey. If you have any questions or thoughts, be sure to leave them in the comments below.
And if you're hungry for more deep dives into fascinating topics, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
Thanks for listening.